Larry, I think we got another call on the line. Greg, go ahead with your question.
Hey, you doing okay tonight? Y'all doing good?
Dale County, Alabama.
Yeah, thanks for the call, man. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I was calling to ask about, I've been a farmer, and I was down with that Zantac, I think, eating my prostate up my gallbladder, and then this about this Parkinson's disease. And I wonder if I need to hire a local law firm and then let them handle it, part of that, rather than going through that Guardian law firm.
Well, Greg, what you see in those situations, when there's a big class action that goes on against either Roundup, we'll go ahead and mention them by name. You've mentioned Zantac by name. Usually what happens is it's a conglomeration of law firms that kind of get together and then put themselves out. The Guardian is one of them. You mentioned their name. Sokoloff is another one. And though Sokoloff keeps a piece of it and the Guardian keeps a piece of it, they do farm it out typically to local law firms or to regional law firms. And so by your question, Greg, I'm presuming that you've already signed up with the Guardian, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you need to stay in touch with them and stay in contact with them. You can reach out to a local attorney. This is what we tell our folks, Greg, when you see the big national class actions, call our law firm. Or call a law firm that kind of is a liaison to the large class action attorneys. What happens is the Guardian or the Sokoloffs of the world, they may have 100,000 claims in any particular product line, whether it's Zantac, 3M, earplugs, whatever it may be. And what they're trying to do is consolidate and get as many cases as possible to give them as much bargaining position as possible against those particular claimants. All of them are going to be going through something called a multi-district litigation. It's a fancy word that says basically all of the cases are going to one courtroom, one courthouse, one judge to deal with for a period of years, and then after those years, a matrix will be developed to determine what you may be may be able to receive compensation for. In some cases, the compensation, when it first starts out, is way up here. And by the time it pays out, it's way down below that. So a local lawyer can help guide you through that. It's not necessary to have a local lawyer, but at least gives you peace of mind. And that way the lawyers can talk with each other and they can get an update on it. Like personally, we're not handling the Roundup cases, but we work with a couple of other of the regional, very regional law firms that are a little bit larger than us. And we stay in contact with those law firms in order to keep our clients in the loop with the communication as to what's going on. So that is at least a good idea for you to do, Greg.
Greg, to follow up what Larry's talking about, also make sure just to be patient the best you can, man. I mean, it's not going to be something that's going to be open and shut really quickly. These MDL type of litigations, these mass tort litigations, they take a while, and a lot happens during that process. Sometimes other defendants are brought in, and when they bring more defendants in, obviously that allows for more money to be paid out. But like Larry said, there's a matrix that's developed and a scale of who gets what and how they get paid. So please be patient. Thank you for all that you do for our communities. I'm originally from the Jackson County area, and just, all of my neighbors were farmers, and just very thankful for what you guys do for our country. But, if you have any questions tomorrow, feel free to give us a call at our office. We'd be glad to talk to you further, though.
Yeah. Chris, it's a good example of this is we're involved in the opioid litigation for Washington County. And literally, so far, I think there's almost 5,500 filings in the court. Yeah. Now, each time we get a filing, we don't update the folks at Washington County. But as these settlements are starting to come in, we keep them updated as to what's going on. We've got another series of settlements that have come in. That litigation has only been a couple of years long, but we've been involved in litigation like this. It's gone on for years and years and years and years and years. And sometimes it's the court that gets backed up. Right now, the 3M cases with the earplugs for service members, right now they're doing bellwether trials. No one's getting paid on any of the cases right now, but what they're doing is they're setting up trials around the country to test to see what the value of the cases could be. The defendants pick a couple of cases, the plaintiffs pick a couple of cases, and they try those cases in the jurisdictions, and then they bring it back to the MDL before they set up this matrix to see what they're going to do or not do. In certain situations, you go back 20-something years ago, you had the Vioxx litigation. That was an anti-inflammatory, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, but it had horrendous side effects. It's been removed from the market. And because of the MDL litigation, because of that large mass litigation, we were able to see how dangerous this product was and why it should never have been put out on the market. Zantac had its own set of problems too with bladder cancer and prostate cancer, and then with Roundup and the glyphosate, we now have discovered memos going back to the 1950s and 1960s that it creates a certain type of leukemia, especially if you work around it excessively. So there's a lot of good information that comes out of these MDLs. And then also some of the MDLs exonerate the product as well. We'll get into that at another time. But sometimes it proves just the opposite, that the product is safe for its intended use. So, but the good thing for you, Greg, is you're signed up for it. Get all your medical information, stay in touch with that particular law firm. If you need a local lawyer, of course, pick out one that you feel comfortable using and allow that law firm to do some of the communication for you and some of that heavy lifting.